All right, Ani, bonsoir, good evening, and welcome to our regular council meeting. And as we do on the first meeting of every month, we turn it over to the deputy mayor to chair. So over to you.
Thank you, Mayor Pecho. We'll start with the Indigenous land acknowledgement. I'd like to begin the meeting by acknowledging that we are in the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples in the Robinson-Huron Treaty area and wish to recognize the neighboring community of Dokis First Nation. While we meet today, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which we each call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. From coast to coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people that call this land home. So we'll start with the adoption of the agenda. I need a mover and a seconder. So Councillor Roger, Councillor Will. Are there any additions tonight? I don't believe there is. So I need a resolution to adopt the agenda. Oh, sorry. For disclosure of pecuniary interest. Is there any? Seeing none. There are no delegations. So we'll go to 6 reports and items for consideration. 6.1 general government. 6.1.1 we have the 2023 AMO conference request for delegation. So we're gonna, I believe, do we want to discuss this, Giselle?
I think we've never asked for a meeting delegation with the Minister for Municipal Affairs, and with the LTAT appeals taking so long, as well as the OP, I believe, the official plan is still being delayed. I think it's time that we ask for a delegation for municipal affairs to express our displeasure and to see if we can move the appeals and get that OP approved as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any comments or think are we all in agreement with trying to get a delegation with the Ministry of Affairs? Yes. Okay. There's no resolution on this. I think Mel will just make the request.
Yes,
So-
and I believe they have to be in tomorrow,
Well, Friday,
Friday.
but I'll get them done tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, good.
Thank you. So we'll continue on to 6.1.2, the resolution to award the community visioning plan consultant. And I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Baum and Councillor Roger. Do you guys have, oh, the staff's going to present?
I would, this is a file that Carly and Sebastien both worked on, so.
So Sebastien, do you want to speak to it?
So hello, council. My name is Sebastian. I'm with Economic Partners in Sturgeon Falls, and I serve as Economic Development Officer for French River. So just a few words here about item 6.1.2. The municipality and staff were seeking a firm or consultant that would undergo a community visioning process. And what that is an activity to gather the aspirations, the ideas, the concerns, the challenges that French River residences are facing. And so we're going to gather that information under some predetermined themes, being commercial retail, industrial activity, regional tourism, recreational opportunities, local agriculture, and residential housing development as our core themes in this process. And so this information that we gather will form the foundation of future policies and strategies in the long term for French River. And so we recently underwent the RFP process, and I can perhaps have Carly speak to the results of that process.
So
We issued the RFP on April 4th. We had originally had it closed or had a deadline of April 25th, and we were asked to extend it by 1 week so that the one firm had time to submit. We had 18 individual firms take the document and show interest in putting in a proposal, but only one firm actually submitted before the due date. They did come in just under budget. We had budgeted $40,000, and this came in at $38,952. We canvassed all of the 18 document takers just to see if there was anything that, any reason why they didn't want to submit their proposal. A lot of them was due to capacity. They had already had prior commitments to other municipalities for the same process. Others wanted more money. But the general consensus was capacity issues in their firm providing us what we'd wanted. So after consulting with the referrals that were included in the one submission that we got 4 outstanding reviews from them. So therefore we are recommending that council approve the purchase to go with Tim Hoare and Capital Park Consulting.
Do any of the counselors have any questions about this? Okay, seeing none, I believe, Mel, do you have a resolution for us? Yeah.
So it's been duly moved and seconded, but resolved that council awards the contract for the community visioning plan to Capital Park Consulting for an amount of $38,952 plus applicable taxes.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you. So 6.2 finances, we have none this time around. 6.3 Public Works and Environmental Services. We have 6.3.1, a resolution to award the purchase of the landfill compactor. And I believe Kevin will speak to the compactor.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair. Just a bit of a background. The Environmental Services Department landfill compactor has reached its expected lifespan and is scheduled for replacement this year, as per our municipality's replacement plan. The request for tender was issued on May 11th with the submission deadline of May 29th. The tender was publicly opened by staff. There was 2 bids, SMS equipment for $806,254, and then Thormont Cat $889,936.54. SMS equipment did not meet our requirements of size, parts, especially service, just due to the fact that they're so far away from us. And also the compactor will come with a 1-year limited warranty, but we're asking to purchase an extended warranty, which covers 5 years, which will cover bumper to bumper, everything, electrical, no issues kind of deal. Just it's a different maintenance package. There's different levels. We're recommending that council awards the tender to supply delivery of 1 new landfill compactor from Tormont Cat for the amount of $889,936 with the extended warranty for the amount of $56,360. I'd just like to say, like, the reason why it met the requirements, but it is just an 816 loader pretty much on kind of built like a tank. So that's the cost, as you're paying for all the armor plating all over the machine and the steel wheels. So that's why the costs of these things are so much. There's so much steel on it. They weigh a lot. So
Anybody have any questions? Mayor Peugeot?
When would the delivery date be? Or is that
So,
going to take a year to get? it?
through you, Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I forgot that. It was 16 months for delivery. Yes, that's the date we're looking at. So late 2024, if we purchase now. So our packer now, we've been keeping it going. It also just a testament to the Cat 816 is that's the machine we're running, and it's 20 years old. It's still beating along. I don't know, most of you have been to the landfill site, you see the wear that has, and it's still going, so. So,
Okay, I believe Counselor Dean and then followed by Counselor Bob.
What is the meaning of new demo?
through you, Madam Chair, it's just a demolition compactor. That's what they're called, demo compact.
But that doesn't tell me what that means, so. What's the difference? Why is it new / demo? Was it a demonstrator or is it a demonstrator? What?
Through you, or Mark Scott.
Through you, Madam Chair. Usually when we put these out, sometimes we get lucky and there's a demo model available that's fairly new that you can maybe get a little bit cheaper. That's why sometimes they put newer demo within our packages just to
That's
take
our
it.
wording, is it?
That's our wording. yes.
On the request for,
Yeah.
oh, okay, okay. Couldn't understand. And by the way, the last one was used when we bought it.
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, it was a used machine when we
Yeah.
bought it, so.
We paid around 400, wasn't it?
Counselor Bob?
Through you, Madam Chair, 16-month delivery. I presume the price is guaranteed in 6 months, though?
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, this is the price we'll be paying right now.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Dave?
Just a comment, I know the extended warranty seems like a lot of money, but I think it's a good thing to have because I know what it costs to fix machines. If we can get an extra 5 years of warranty, that actually might save money. There's a lot of expensive parts on there. I just bought a sensor for my machine that was almost $600, so that's just a sensor. So I think we should go for the 5-year extra warranty.
So I know we have $895 in the budget. Where are we coming up with the other 56? Our treasurer do we have any leftover from any other machines that we bought or?
It's a 5-year extended warranty, so it's going to be a prepaid expense, so it's going to be amortized over the 5 years, so it's going to be part of the operating budget.
Okay, thank you. That's all I gotta know. So I need a mover and a seconder. So Counselor Will and Counselor Dave.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that council awards the purchase of a landfill compactor to Tormont Cat for an amount of $889,936.54 with an extended warranty for the amount of $56,360 plus applicable taxes.
All in favor? Okay. So 6. Did you want to ask another question, Dean, or?
Curiosity, do we have to put money down ahead on this? I just wondered if we did, how much we're putting down.
Through you, Madam Chair, we'll have to get back to you on that answer. We do have to put some like an allotment down. I don't know the exact number. I don't want to misquote anyone.
Okay. thank you.
Okay. 6.3.2, we have a resolution to authorize the land lease agreements for the curbside recycling program. I believe Kevin will speak to this.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Just again, a little bit of background. In October of 2022, council resolved to extend the curbside pilot program to all households within the municipality to ensure that all residents within the municipality can participate in this program. Staff will be replacing recycling sheds throughout the municipality for the servicing of private roads and seasonal island residents, like we spoke about before. We have approached 4 residents of the municipality to seek approvals to place recycling sheds on private property. These properties are the most suitable locations to service the residents of private roads and islands. The locations being North Channel Road. This will service North Channel Camp, North Channel Water Access Residence. Then we have Bayside Road. It'll service Baker's Bay. And then when Turan Road, this will service River Lane. And Settlers Road. This is gonna service the supply post where all the islanders are out there. The draft land lease agreement is attached here and the agreements have no monetary value. The residents have just agreed to do this on their property for us. So. The recommendation is council authorizes the municipality to enter into the land lease agreements for the purpose of providing suitable locations for the recycling shed placements for curbside recycling programs. And I believe you're all gonna ask where the other ones are going. They're all on M&R MTO land, so we are securing those agreements now. Those should be coming within days, so we'll be looking at signing those as well. So this is just for the private property.
Does anybody have any questions for Kevin? No. So those will be picked up once every 2 weeks, like we get picked up, those sheds will be emptied. Is that the plan?
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. Everyone on these roads or islands are going to be issued a key. And it's up to them to have responsibility of removing the snow and taking care of it, making sure it's tidy. This is just giving them an option instead of going to the landfill. So now they can access just like if they lived on. It's better than them having to move all the way to the landfill. So it's just an easier option for all these residents that are on private or island. So.
Okay. I believe I need a mover and a seconder, Counselor Dean and Counselor Dave.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that council authorizes the mayor and clerk to enter into land lease agreements for the purpose of providing suitable locations for recycling shed placement for the curbside recycling program.
All in favor? Okay, 6.4, recreation and community services, nil. 6.5, emergency protection services. 6.5.1, traffic and parking bylaw review. So we have the report in our package. And tonight we're just going to talk, it's just a draft of the parking bylaw, parking and traffic bylaws. So if I believe we can discuss and then it'll be brought forward at our next meeting. So if anybody has any questions, perhaps now would be the time to answer, or maybe Kevin, do you have a spiel on this or? No?
Sure, through you, Madam Chair. I do have a little report. Our last traffic and parking bylaw was enacted in 2010. So as for all our bylaws, we do like to go in and review them and update them. Just a couple things that have been updated, excuse me, are updated fire routes. I believe the fire chief will speak to some of those. School drop-off zones, regulate off-road vehicles on sidewalks. This is a common complaint that we get every year as snowmobiles on our sidewalks. So now we're attaching Part 1 tickets to these, so the OPP have something they can use, because actually they don't have anything for that as well. So this will help with that. Updated snowplow turnarounds, schedule for the road signs revised. We added our AMPS, our administrative monetary penalty system to the Part 1s, and we raised the set fines. So that's pretty much my little spiel. I believe the chief, if you want to speak to any of this.
The only update I'll be giving it for the fire routes. Fire routes are determined by the chief and the fire prevention division. Most of them are in front of commercial buildings or grocery stores, or specific routes where fire trucks need the room and space to get into a residential area or school, or even turnarounds. So that's mostly where we have our fire roads.
Does anybody have any questions for Kevin or the fire chief? And Mayor Peugeot?
I don't have a list of questions for you this time, Kevin. Just a comment. I went through the fines and I mean, it costs us more to process some of these fines than what we're charging. And I'm wondering why they're so low. For instance, for parking fine, like it's not as if we live in a a very large city where they have bylaw officers, that's all they do all day. They hand out tickets, but for us to process a parking ticket, you know, you can, for $35, probably cost us more than that. And the other comment I had was, I think the fines for obstructing an officer, whether a bylaw officer, a police officer, or a firefighter, I believe is very low for an obstruction. I think that should be more punitive than anything else for the protection of our responders. So those are my comment. I don't know how these numbers were selected, but they're extremely low.
Did you want to comment?
For sure, through you, Madam Chair. So the numbers we pick are just kind of standard within other municipalities, but like you were saying, Madam Mayor, we do pick from larger cities and they do have traffic enforcement and they go around and handle these tickets all day, so it is worth it to them. Well, every time we file a ticket, we have to send it to North Bay, and just the registered mail alone, and then the hours in, we're losing money on it, is what ends up happening. But it, like I've said before, when these bylaws come to council, they're council's decision on what we want to do, and we can definitely look at revising any of these fines that you like.
So these fines, can we not put them all under AMPS? Or they're provincial? You mentioned provincial, they go to North Bay.
Through you, Madam Chair, just to answer your question, Madam Mayor. So these are part twos, they're called. So there's part ones and these are part two POA ticket. And we can go through AMPS, but AMPS is only for our ratepayers because you have to. Own
Right, oh,
property.
right. So we
So
don't know if they're a ratepayer or not.
We don't.
got
like,
it.
And that's just more admin and, you know, if there's a row of cars parked to your family tournament and we hand out tickets.
Right.
Majority of them won't be from our municipality, so that's why we have to stick with the part twos, but we do still have AMPS built in. If we do need it and it is a resident, we can use it, and for our part one as well.
So would it be out of line to, because it's not for approval for tonight, to see if we can raise the some of these fines so that at least it's not costing the municipality money to put a fine, to do a fine. I think we're punishing everybody else, but the offender who's probably not going to pay it anyway. So can we get your group to look at the
Yep.
fines again?
Through you, Madam Chair, for sure, we can revise those and have a discussion on what to raise them to at least cover. We'll look at what HR costs
Yeah,
per hour to roughly do these and what it costs to actually submit them.
yeah.
And I would just like to remind everybody, when a part two does go to the POA court, it may sit for 5 years, but we will receive that money back eventually, because when you go to renew your license, your driver's license, it will get stopped until you pay these.
Oh, I see, yeah. Okay, and the other one too is the obstruction of officers, to raise that one as well, so that it becomes more punitive and than anything, than a simple slap on the fingers.
Anybody else have any questions? No? Okay, so I guess we still have time to think about it and go through the list. Then go from there. Is there a reason why we have, like, if you pay within 7 days, we give a discount? Like, I mean, I've never heard of getting a discount if you pay it right away. So let's, break the rules. We'll pay it right away and then we save some money. Like, what's the attitude?
Through you, Madam Chair, it's just if
Are we good?
All right.
Okay, so we'll
Okay.
keep going. So I guess we'll look at this and then you'll come back to us.
Yeah.
But one more comment?
Through you, Madam Chair, just for the early payable fine, it just saves with us having to file of that. It's just an incentive to get them here to pay, so we do not have to pay for registered mail and everything else that goes along with shipping these tickets out. So it just encourages you to come in and pay it and get it off our plate.
Plate.
anyway.
And then that way we save on the costs. Okay, I understand. Okay. All good. I don't think anybody else, any more questions? So we'll continue on. 6.6 planning, building planning and development. We don't have anything this week. 7 correspondence, 7.1, we got a request for support from the Centre de Santé Univie Health Center. It's a letter of support for expansion of the primary care services. Did anybody want us questions on that, or we're all good? So if we're all in favor, the municipality, I guess the staff would write up a letter in favor of supporting the expansion of services in the municipality. All in. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave, Counselor Will.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that council approves writing a letter of support to the Centre de Santé Univie Health Center on their proposal to increase primary care services in the Sudbury East area.
All in favor? Okay, good. So we have the consent agenda. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Roger, Counselor Bob.
It's duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that council approves the items of the consent agenda under section 8.1 and receives the items under section 8.2.
All in favor? Good. So we have notices of motion. We don't have anything. So I believe we're going to go to announcements and inquiries. And we will start with Counselor Dave.
I got nothing. Thank you.
Okay, Counselor Dean.
Oh, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor Peugeot.
I do. Well, I see that Debbie's here today. And I wanted to personally, on behalf of council, thank you for the flowers, the pot of flowers. You look guilty for a second. We really appreciate all the volunteer time that you put in for everything that you do for our community along with Amy. But the flowers, already getting compliments on the flowers. So thank you for not only putting them together, but watering them and making sure they don't die before it starts raining and we could get them up. So we truly appreciate that. Thank you. The other item is last Thursday, we had the VIA had their June seniors luncheon, which was absolutely amazing. There were about 135 people there. And again, our first responders, firefighters, police and paramedics tended to, and council, of course, tended to serving the seniors their lunch. And I think that was truly appreciated. It looked great. And we especially liked the fact that they stayed long enough to do the dishes before they were all called out. So again, that was a successful event and our seniors really appreciate it. And that's it for me.
Counselor Will,
I have nothing to add at this time.
Counselor Bob.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I only have two things.
Okay,
And I also wanted to compliment you and your committee and volunteers and Park and Rec staff for the flowers. Many compliments. I have not had a chance. I'll be going through Alban tomorrow and checking them out there, but I'm sure they look just as lovely as they do here in town. Merci. My second, I have to tip my hat to someone. I guess I could have done it 2 weeks ago, but I forgot. To a resident, a local contractor, and a counselor. I'd like to say thank you to Counselor Dave. We had a fire last winter, I'll say sometime, the corner of St. David and Notre Dame. The way that this property was cleaned up and so efficiently and so fast to make the town look good. I tip my hat to you, Dave. Thank you. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Counselor Roger?
I also have two items I'd like to talk about. First of all, it's true, the awards dinner of last Thursday. I don't believe it could have been any better. Everybody there that played the part played it perfectly. The food was good, the service was good. Everybody that I've talked to really enjoyed it. So to all of those who volunteered and worked and helped, thank you very much. Number two, my favorite, the food bank. I saw in the budget that there was an amount of money, was it $350,000? Is that a grant that was applied for, or is it in the budget? For the addition to the arena. Which one's it?
We're applying for grant funding for additions to the arena to look at additional change rooms and additional space for the food.
Okay. No, that's good. But the only thing I'm worried about is we're gonna have to try to move on that sooner than later. I don't know if we can push it or get other people involved. Due to the fact that we do have maybe 3-6 months left in that house that we have now. But as we all know, to get any construction done these days, due to the lack of labor force or material, we're probably looking at a year from the time that shovel goes into the ground. And we also know that there's no other building in this in the Wellville area which will satisfy our needs. So we could be out on the side of the road, basically, handing out food if it doesn't happen soon.
Sorry, I can't move any faster than the system. The way we presented the budget to council, it was with funding from the provincial government. And you're correct. I'm not going to hide the fact that most likely nothing will come to fruition until 2024. That's just the way the processes work. And we'll just have to get creative if we need to find you a temporary location elsewhere in the midst of waiting the results of this project.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Councillor?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does any of the staff over here have any comments? No. I myself, okay, what, do you guys have anything to say? Our audience? You're welcome to speak. Mike, yep.
Okay. Is there any update on the situation of the police station?
Tomorrow, we have a meeting with some of the decision makers with the OPP. So I don't
Okay.
have anything to report
Right, okay,
right now, but
okay.
we're looking forward to
Right.
tomorrow's meeting.
And the second thing was, I had heard that we might be getting an old age home the French River, like Noirville or French River area?
Yeah, it's
Is that
premature.
still up in
That-
the air?
That's up in the air. There's been
Oh,
talk
okay.
about that for the longest time. I think
Okay.
since I've almost been born. But
Okay.
yeah, there's
Unless
just
I
be
win the
patient.
lottery. If I win the lottery,
then you'll buy.
that'll solve the problem.
I know where to go golf calling.
Okay.
Debbie, Amy, do you guys have any questions for us or? You could go and ask. Anything, go ask.
So I apologize for not attending previous meetings. I just have one question regarding the trash compactor. That, was there ever a quote requested to refurbish it, if it was a viable option or not?
Believe Kevin can answer that question.
Through you, Madam Chair. Yes, we did look at that avenue. It wasn't worth the cost. It was almost $700,000 to do it. So it didn't make sense to refurbish it at that cost.
Okay, and just a suggestion, I don't know if the Presbytide is available. It seems empty for the food bank to temporarily go or not, just a suggestion.
We've had some discussions with them. I know that they're planning to do some stuff, but if worst case scenario comes to fruition and if it's still available, that would be the only place we could move into. Hopefully, we'll get the grant instead.
Okay. So I just have a few things. So the lunch last week was great. It was fantastic. I need to apologize to Dave because Dave came and took my place on dishes duty because I had to go back to work and I kind of left him with all the utensils. So it wasn't the people, it wasn't the firemen that were there that didn't do that. Is if they gave me all the plates when I started doing dishes and that's what I washed. And when 1 o'clock came around, there was a big bowl of utensils. You offered to take over, so you got them. Sorry. But thanks for
I
doing
offered to
them.
Take over before I saw the bowl of utensils.
That's right. And so anything, I just kind of stuck away. So thank you, Dave. And sorry, next time I'll do the utensils. Hats off to Debbie and Melody for getting the flower baskets all done. And to staff that put the baskets up and has a few little things because the scissor lift broke on the way, but they between the staff in here and out there, they managed to get them all up. So thank you. Yeah, it does add to the town. So thank you very much for all your hard work. Glad to see Dave expanded the driveway at the Joe Chartrand Park. Thank you very much for that. And then that's about it for me. I don't think I have anything else. So I know tonight we are going into a closed session. So you guys are welcome to stay around and wait for us. Or you can leave and we'll just come back after our closed session and then wrap up the rest of the meeting. So I will need a mover and a seconder, Counselor Bob and Counselor Dave.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that the meeting be closed as authorized in the Municipal Act pursuant to section 239(2)E. Litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board with respect to an update on the Ontario Land Tribunal hearing in relation to the appeal of zoning bylaw amendment 2021-50.
Okay, all in favor? Good. So we'll see you when we get back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We need a mover and a seconder to resume into regular session. Counselor Dave and Counselor Bob. All in favor? Good. And we need a resolution to adopt the confirmation bylaw. Counselor Dave, Counselor Dean. Gonna read it? No.
Duly moved and seconded, be it resolved that by law 2023-34 being a bylaw to confirm the proceeding of council of the municipality of French River at a meeting held June 7th, 2023, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All in favor? Good. And we need a resolution to adjourn. Counselor Bob and Counselor Roger. All in favor? Good. Thanks for joining us and we'll see you in 2 weeks.